Jeremy, we are hearing that the Security Cabinet approved this operation 10 days ago before the Prime Minister tapped Naftali Bennett to be the new Defence Minister. He's now officially in that role. Tell me, what sort of approach does he have on the situation in Gaza?
Well, as you pointed out, this was decided 10 days ago. Already back on Friday, the decision was made that Naftali Bennett was going to be appointed as defense minister. And already on Sunday, he started to enter consultations with IDF and the rest of the security brass to get a good sense of the situation, since although he has been a security cabinet member for the last 6 years, for the last few months he was not, so he had to get up to speed in terms of what was happening with this actual operation. The first move that he made was to go ahead and declare a state of emergency. And again, it's different levels. You have overall from 0 kilometers up to 80 kilometers, but it's divided into two different things. And I think Daniel Tzemach sort of explained what it was that each Israeli citizen should do. In terms of what we should expect from the new Minister of Defense, what we've seen from Bennett is that he's willing to challenge the system. He's willing to go ahead and ask questions and not just take whatever is put on his desk for granted. And we saw that when he decided to go ahead during the last big operation we had with Gaza, which was Protective Edge in 2014, and he went to the field. He went ahead and he learned about the threat of the terror tunnels. He went ahead, he brought that information to the Security Cabinet. Now he's in a much more prominent position as defense minister, and he's going to take that outlook to the threats that we're facing now and beyond.
And Jeremy, I understand you used to work alongside Bennett as an advisor there. How do you think that this merging of the New Right and the Likud party will work out for Benjamin Netanyahu?
So for Likud, it makes a lot of sense to make this deal. Likud is the largest actual party. Blue and White is a faction of 3 parties put together, with Haymin Chadash joining Likud. Now Netanyahu can say that he also has the largest faction. And besides that, we also know that Netanyahu has the largest bloc because he has 55 recommendations. So now when Netanyahu goes ahead and sits with Gantz for the coalition negotiations, and there are various rumors about secret talks that are going on, back channels. We know that Gantz has also now been briefed on the latest security developments. So with all this happening, Netanyahu is in a very good place politically as a result of doing this deal.
We do know that there were 4 generals who are now serving in the Likud party, and Bennett really wasn't that high-ranking when he was in the military. Tell me, what makes him think that, you know, he's got what it takes to solve such a complex issue that is Gaza?
Bennett was in Sayeret Matkal, which is the most elite unit you can have. He was also a brigade commander. He actually entered politics after spending time in the reserves in the Second Lebanese War, and just seeing on the ground what a disconnect was happening from what was happening in the field and the generals that were sitting around the war room along with the Security Cabinet. And he made it his business to put himself in a position so that he could be in the room. And what we have now is a situation where Naftali Bennett is now defense minister. He is the one giving the directives to the IDF, and now we are dealing with a wave of another wave coming from Gaza in terms of the violence there. So he's in a position where he can actually go ahead and do something. Why is he more qualified than everybody else? Well, you know, we've had a lot of IDF generals who served as defense ministers, and they didn't do the best of jobs. And I think personally the best defense minister we ever had was Moshe Arens, who was not an IDF general. He was appointed to the job 3 times. So sometimes you don't want an IDF general in that position.
All right, well, it certainly is a very tough first day on the job, to say the very least. All right, stay with me. We are tasked with trying to form a coalition government. Of course, Benny Gantz is backing the assassination of Islamic Jihad commander Baha Abu al-Attar, saying that difficult decisions are needed.
The terrorist Baha Abu al-Attar, who was killed last night, was marked for death. Exactly like Ahmad Jabari, the Hamas chief of staff, exactly like every terrorist embarking on a murder spree against Israeli citizens. Political and military leaders sometimes need to take difficult decisions for the sake of Israel's security while evaluating the price we will pay. Such was the case with the operation last night, about which I was informed ahead of time. It was the right decision operationally and politically. This operation will not have any ramifications on the ongoing political moves currently taking place.
And Jeremy, Benny Gantz, as we heard, supporting Benjamin Netanyahu on this issue, on this mission here. Can the pair see eye to eye now on other issues?
Well, you know, Israelis sure hope that they can. We're in a real danger of putting ourselves in a situation of a third election. Gantz has 8 days left for the second mandate, in which it's with him to form a government, after which there's the option of a third mandate. But if the third mandate is unsuccessful, we do go to a third election. It's good to see that there are some things that are above opposition and coalition, right and left. There are certain things that the great majority of Israelis can get behind. I feel also, you know, when you look at the security situation we're dealing with, you understand why you need a unity government, why you need, with this delicate situation that we have, real stability. So we are hopeful, but unfortunately, until now, we've not seen any breakthroughs. So hopefully we will.
And just to bring in another little bit of information, we are hearing some reports coming in now from the US Embassy warning its citizens to be vigilant. Emily, walk us through what you've got there.
Yes, it seems as though the United States Embassy is just warning American citizens to be on high alert. That's the highest level so far. I just also want to bring in that Egyptian officials in Cairo as well are telling the media that they are starting talks, and they're bringing in the European Union and the United States to try to chart channels for de-escalation talks. All
right, well, hopefully things can calm down in the next few hours here in Israel. Jeremy, Saltan, really appreciate your time. Emily, Rose, always a pleasure. Thank you both.